you guys will lower your expectations just a little bit. Anybody here saw a flip phone? Is there anybody? Awesome. Okay, you've got one step there.
Who's that?
Nobody. I didn't see anybody. Okay, so that's good. Everybody's got a smartphone of some kind? Okay, so how many of you do some kind of business, maybe from the car? From the bathroom? Maybe your tub? Somewhere other than your desk where you're supposed to sit? Okay, so I do most of my business not at the designated spot in my home. So when Evernote came out, I don't know, when people got on the bandwagon of that, I sat one day and I did a lot of transferring of things from Word documents into Evernote. So those of you who have taken the class at conference, I've heard a lot of you say, I started an Evernote, I have 2 notes in there, I've never opened it again. That was I did that for the first month, and then I sat there, and one thing that I learned is there's a lot of great notes that have already been created, and you can save them. Just like if you would take somebody's Word document and download it onto your computer, you can do the same thing with a note from Evernote. So my document didn't make it to the packet, but I don't think you can see this real quick. But okay, so Evernote is a free thing that you can do. You can download it on multiple devices. So you can have it on your computer, your tablet, your phone, whatever, nobody has a flip phone, I think, so I'm on any device. So a lot of times when I'm at home, I prefer to use the desktop application, and so I just downloaded it onto my computer. You open it just like if you would open Word, because I know sometimes people get confused, is it an app? I can't have an app on my computer because I don't have a Mac or whatever. So that's what I'll just say. It's like Word, it's like an application that you download onto your thing. But when I'm out and about, I end up doing a lot from my iPad. The whole time we've been sitting here, I've been typing all the notes if you guys have been writing them. So as Patty uploads all the videos, I will then take the YouTube links and save them into every single note that we have, and then all the typed stuff that I've typed is already in there, and you guys can go back and edit it yourself and put your personal stuff in there too.
Are you saying you're going to share that with us?
Yes.
I love you.
So,
Evernote.
say that again?
It's only shared if you use Evernote, right?
Yeah, so you were supposed to create an Evernote account before you got here. Yes, ma'am?
Do you have regular Evernote or the premium?
I have the basic Evernote. I did not pay for it. The one thing, I think the first time I sat down to really put some things in there, I got a warning that says you're approaching your maybe 2 gig limit or whatever it was. I just waited a couple of weeks and then I went back in and my 30 days had passed and it was back. My bandwidth or whatever was back. So I contemplated upgrading to the next one. I think I got an email that it could be 99 cents a month, or I don't know. I just was I don't see the benefit right now. I just have the basic package. Okay, so those of you who use Evernote, help me real quick. Think of ways that you are currently using your Evernote.
You are at a retreat and a hostess needs the outside order form and you don't have your computer with you. You can go to Evernote on your phone, find the outside order form, and email it from there without ever having your computer with you.
Does she have to have Evernote to open it?
No.
Medical records.
Medical records is a great
Medical
one.
records. My mom's, everything was everywhere. Every form of ID, every, driver's license. If you wanted to do your passport, I know
You
where
can
is
scan
she?
it, put it in.
Yeah, you can scan it, you can put it in. Everything can be scanned and put in.
Like when my mom had cancer and I went to all her treatments and doctor's appointments with her because my dad couldn't, every single appointment had a different note within mom's notebook.
Yeah.
So then I could go back and look back at them and I could email them to my sister, I could email them to my dad, and so they would all have them. Yeah, Paula?
Anytime a store, Staples, or anything emails me a receipt, I just forward it to my Evernote email address and it goes into
Nice.
Evernote, so I'm not.
Oh,
Sally?
If I have a recipe in a magazine or Season's Best, you take a picture of it and you email it into Evernote.
Perfect.
And
Tina?
then it has the picture, but it might get in the world so you can edit it.
No, we'll get there on that.
It's
Tina?
there. Yeah.
Online recipe box.
Recipe box. That's what I was looking for. Things that are quick, just like one-liners.
How do you make those?
We'll get there. Look.
Our notebook, so I have one for recruiting and one for booking. It has 12 notes, January, February, March, April. So it's
Excellent.
a notebook, but it's an
So yes, anything that you would normally use this was on my other note sheet. Hold on, let me pull this up so I can see it. Anything that you would normally use a notebook. So like when Nancy Jo did the training with the recruiting notebook and the booking lead notebook when we were in Pennsylvania, And so I was thinking like, well, do I want to go back to paper and pencil, or do I want to just use an Evernote for that? So things I use Evernote for is every month I have a email that I send to my host. It's just titled January host email dash everything you need to know. And it's something that I just copy from Evernote and then I paste it in my email and I hit send. So I don't have to open Word, I don't have to be at home, I don't have to be at my computer. Another thing I use it for is taking notes like we've done today. Anything that we've talked about today is in my notes. Recipe for customers, like Tina was saying about a recipe box. A to-do list, those of you who like a rolling to-do list. Team tracking, so along with your booking tracking and all that. And then I also have a notebook of just links that I have to reference often. All right, so that's ways I use Evernote. Okay, now things, I guess just the logistics of Evernote is you kind of think about your school supplies. And like some of us, when we went to school, you had 7 bells in a day and you had a notebook for every bell, right? And so you had a one subject notebook for every bell. My kids are now on block scheduling, so we have an A-day notebook and a B-day notebook with dividers in each one. So it's kind of like thinking about back to your school supplies. So here you're gonna see there's a notebook and then there's notes within the notebook. All right, so this one that we're gonna do is called the Sweet 16, and that's the notebook I've been working on since we've been here. So far, I have a note for within the notebook, I have a note for every single training we've done today. And just a personal OCD thing is I number them so that I know what order we did them in, because if I sort by title, they won't be in the order of which you guys spoke. All right, so a lot of times you'll see numbers in the front of my files, so that's what it means. It's just so that I can sort it and it will automatically alphabetize, but it's doing it numerically. And then a couple things that I do within Evernote. So when I polled you guys, one thing that was asked was a host packet. Crystal was asking about a host packet. All right, so I have a notebook called Host. All right, and so in my host letter here, like here's my, I don't know where my January one is. There it is. Oh, there, okay. All right, so here's my host email for January. The only thing I really do is every month I change the colors at the top. You guys know that know me know that I have 87 pins in my bag right now. So I like color and things like that. I do that for visually, that when I go to that document, I can look real quick and know blue was January, pink was February, so that when I'm back in the view of the notebook view, oh, I don't know if I can't do this quickly in a Mac, but how do I get out of that?
Cancel down at the bottom.
Thank you. So you know something about technical. All right, so anyway, this is the same, I roll this forward every single month. I just rename it December, because right now you're working on January, February, March for the most part. So I don't want to accidentally copy the January host special to the March hostess. So one thing I do is I hyperlink. All right, so if you ever noticed in a document, like we get from home office, that the words are blue, and if you click on it, it takes you somewhere else. That's a hyperlink. So you can hyperlink to, it could be directly to YouTube, it could be a hyperlink to another document. So there are things that like this one right here is just a video. It's actually something that goes directly to the Margot website. So when you want to do an hyperlink, all I have to do is highlight the word. So say this, it doesn't even matter what it is right now, cost me $5. I highlight the word, and I don't know how to right click on a Mac.
Just right click. Just right click, yeah.
2 fingers?
2 fingers towards the bottom right.
Bottom right. You're in the middle.
No, of your pad, of your finger.
The pad.
Oh, this one?
2
Yeah.
fingers though. 2 fingers.
Yes.
Okay, hold on, there we go. Okay, so see, let me do this again.
2 fingers.
2 fingers when you do it.
Who wants to drive?
I'll drive.
Okay, there you go.
Link.
There you go.
Okay, so when you get to link, you can either add, so this is where I would have copied something beforehand. Say you were on YouTube. So say Patty posted one of her videos and I wanted to embed it in here. Yeah, have my team watch it. I would highlight this and then I would add the link, and now those words turn blue. So that when you hover over it, it turns from a arrow to, like, is it a hand? And it goes wherever you click it to go to. So there are things that I do with this. So one of them is the Margot video. I use Margot, whole different topic. Another thing I do is right there. Okay, so this is the one I've been sharing quite a bit. Actually, Cindy Johnson just asked me for this last week. We have the host dashboard, and so we don't have a video that we can send our hosts for them to watch what we can watch within Consultants Corner. Have you come across that yet? Where you're like, I wish they could see what we could see, the training video on that. So what I did is I made an Evernote that has screenshots in it. So when I click this, if this is embedded in an email, or even if I copy and paste this to you in a Facebook message, if I click this, it's gonna take me to an Evernote.
Oh, you're probably gonna have to sign in.
I'll just skip it.
Oh, skip, okay.
So your host can do the same thing. She can skip it. And this is what my host is going to see. Or you would see, like when I send it to Cindy, she would see this. So this is the, I just created a note that had this in there because I referenced this quite a bit. So I wanted to send this in there. So I went through and actually I logged in as a hostess and I just screenshot everything she saw and made directions to go along with it. So there have been plenty of people that are on the different pages that are saying, hey, how do you tell your host how to enter her order? This is what I share. If you've ever seen me share that, that's what this document is. And so I use the hyperlink that way.
Can you scroll?
I can. Let me see if I can.
Scroll two fingers up. In the middle, down.
Oh, in the middle? Drive.
It's not on there.
I need a mouse. Thank you, Sarah. All right, so it's just what she can see. This is an example of something that I would use a hyperlink for. All right, so this is something that I actually created. I didn't borrow this, but I created this myself.
We just wanted to see the document that you sent.
Okay, yeah, so that's embedded in the other one. So if can I exit out and go back? Well, I was on Evernote Live, wasn't I?
Host dashboard MF.
All right, I'll get there in a second. Okay, so back here, scroll down. Scroll down for me. All right, so another thing I do is the host and guest special. So this is the one link that I have to change every month to a different notebook page. All right, so Sarah, click that host special link. That was right there.
Hold on. There we go.
So just click that for me. Got it? All right, so this should take me, I'm sorry, there we go. All right, so if they were to click, oh, it's not found. Hold on, I might not have. All right, where this would normally take me is I have a, how do I get, can I minimize this? Stick with us, guys. Thank you. All right, so I have another notebook that's all called hyperlinks. So this is anything that I continuously reference. They're things that I hyperlink within other documents. So one of the common ones is every month, I call them steals and deals. So it's the host special, the guest special, if there's some other kind of special, the recruiting special, and the order form. So yeah, if you double click, I think that makes it, maybe double click there and it makes it bigger.
So what your hyperlink is a folder, is that what you?
A hyperlink is just to another note.
No, I didn't mean hyperlink. I'm sorry, you put all these saved documents that you want to hyperlink later on.
Yes, so when you open this, it's just the PDFs.
But you made one notebook and you put all those links.
Yes. So I can reference, instead of putting putting one in host coaching and putting one in specials and putting one in recipes, I put it all my hyperlinks are in one notebook.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was just my organization. Okay, so you guys can see in November and December we had those specials, so they were all in one spot. All right, and
Send all of this
That
to
is
your
that
host.
one click.
this is all one file,
Right.
all one note.
Right.
She gets the link in a letter, so if she clicks on it, she can see it. So if she says to me, hey, you didn't send me an order form, I can say, if you can access my host letter, click the link that says host and guest specials.
Okay, so she can print it without having Evernote, but she can't save it. Is that correct?
She can, yeah, because when you open a PDF, you will get the option to save as. All right, so that's one thing I do is I have my host letter that I just copy from Evernote into an email every single month, and then it has these links in it. So the one link I change is the steals and deals, or whatever you want to call it, host specials, guest specials, order forms, because sometimes, don't you forget to send the attachments? Okay, so if I forget, it's right there. All right, so if I get out of here. All right, so that is one thing I do is the hyperlinking, which is not hard. And so I should tell you guys, we're talking about doing recruiting, doing it scared. We're talking about booking, doing it scared. Please just do your technology scared. It's really not that hard. You will not blow up the world by accidentally copying a note or downloading a PDF or You know, just click around. Like, don't you tell your consultants, click around Consultants Corner and see what you can find? It's, yeah, explore. So with Evernote, I just had to explore. Nobody really taught me. And I didn't have the patience to listen to the recorded pen note call or whatever. So I'm like, I can just wing this. So another thing that I do is, you were asking about what I had at the end of the title. Okay, so at the end of the title, so go back to the November one. What I do is, if you just go back to double click on that one, so it's big again. Okay. All right, so if I was to hit the share button, and I think I can do this part. Let me see. If I hit the share button, this is because I want to, okay, so when I want to share this link with my hostess, I would hit like, copy public link. All right, so then if I was to actually paste it, it'd be like this long. And it's really obnoxious. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a bunch of random letters and numbers. Okay, so what I do is I then go to TinyCC. It's just the website, it's called TinyCC. Some of you use TinyURL, Bitly, whatever. Okay, so whatever it is, I use TinyCC because you can create an account and then all of your links stay underneath you, so you can go back to them later. And I can see how many people have clicked on it if I ever desired to know that. But like for this one, I copied and pasted the really obnoxious link, went to tinycc.com, created a new link, and then I named it Steals and Deals November, and then TMF is just my initials. So if Patty had already created Steals and Deals and I had copied this from her, just so that it's a unique link, I just add my initials to the end. Okay, because somebody may already have chicken bruschetta pasta, but if I do chicken bruschetta pasta TMF, then it's mine. Okay, so this. Good test. All right, so I do the hyperlinking is so all these hyperlinks. Another one that y'all have asked me about is my returns and exchanges. There was a conversation about, do you handle them for your customer? Do you make them call in? And so one of the things I found is I was doing these returns and then nobody was ever sending the stuff in, and I had all these like pending things that I had made lists of and I had never followed up with them. So I now send this whenever they send me that their stone broke. Can they exchange something? Is this still under warranty? I copy and paste this there. As a customer, you have 3 ways to do your return. You can call Paper Chef, just like I can. You can email them at thesolutionscenter.paperchef.com, because when you go to the return page, if the history, like say it's something that's older that, it says professional cookware, you know it's lifetime warranty, but it's not in the order history because that's been gone for a while. It's gonna say on that page is for them to email Customer Solution Center anyway. And then the third way is if they are in your system, they should be able to log in to their order history, and it gives them the directions on how to log into their order history and do the return themselves. So that they can upload their picture from their phone, they don't have to email it to me, and then I have to save it, and then I have to do it, and then I have to upload it and hit send, and we just, you know, so I put it back in their court. Yeah. All right, so this is one that I reference quite a bit. Is this one. So when I'm on the go, I can copy and paste either the body of this email or just the link, because I made a TinyCC of it. It's tinycc. You guys can type that in right now. tiny.cc/return exchange. And this will come up. It will have my info in the bottom. It will have my info because I put my info at the bottom of everything.
But then you just save it.
But you can save it, which I'll get there. You can save that and edit it, and then it's yours.
It's up on top.
It's right now, returns, exchanges.
Right there.
TinyCC/returns exchange.
Return exchange.
Or return. No S.
So I could find your little.
You could take my link.
And then I could edit it,
You could save it, then edit it.
and then I can resave it as.
Whatever you wanted to. And you can resave it as return exchange MR.
MSR, okay, gotcha.
You don't care?
No.
That's why we all use Evernote so that we can share.
Yeah, why would I care? You guys have shared so much with me. I'm not very like possessive of that kind of stuff. Because my name is right here. It says my consultant number and name are. So like that's part. I've gotten caught on that.
Make sure you
Where,
read it.
like, you know, I've got a document and it says Kim Hogan at the bottom. I'm like, oops. You know? So, yes, I love you, Kim, but I'm not sending my customers to you. Sorry. All right?
Tiffany, question. So how do you email that?
You can email. Okay, I don't love to hit the share button to email. Okay, because it looks kind of funny on their end, I think. What I don't mind doing is hitting right click, select all, copy, paste in my own email. Okay? Okay, that's not that hard.
For those of you not using Evernote, I was very non-technical last year. So when Tiffany taught some of this stuff, I kept thinking, well, why do I need it, right? You're all thinking, why do I need this? Here's why. You are not tied to your Mac or your PC any longer because it is on the cloud. So
It's all saved up.
anywhere from your phone, you can access any document that you have put in there. So that's really why you want to do that. How many times in the last couple of years have you been somewhere and somebody needs something and you're calling home?
Can you email this?
Can you go to my computer, under documents, under
Even if you have Dropbox and you have access to Dropbox on your phone, it's still more steps. Like I feel like I can't open spreadsheets and edit spreadsheets from Dropbox. Like it just like it doesn't look the same.
use one or the other.
Just return.
It depends on what it is. Like all my pictures are saved in Dropbox.
Return exchange.
But okay, so one of my when I do my host thank you note, I send them this link. I have a I'm trying to think of where. Okay, so notebooks. All right, so I have two different recipe notebooks. One is called Recipe, and one is called Recipe SSS, Station Style Show. All right, so those of you who y'all have already typed them up, I just copy and paste them from you guys. But I don't necessarily want my customers to see that set up like that, because if I've got different things written in there, like, they're broken out differently than a standard recipe. All right, so with the Mac, mine looks a little different in my computer, but see those little people there, it means it's been shared or it's public. Right now, when you look at Sweet 16, we don't have that, all right, because I haven't made it public yet. But for example, with my recipes, somebody in one of the groups shared their recipe box, and I took all of their 100 and some odd recipes, saved them in mine, and it took me 10 minutes to erase their name and paste my name to 100 documents like that. I was watching TV, paste, paste, paste. Okay. Well, it's not like I'm opening Word, because Word you have to open, you have to wait for it to open, you have to wait for it to do all that, then you have to hit save. Evernote's not like that. So if I wanted to go into, say you get to my notebook and you just want to look at chocolate fondue, there's chocolate fondue.
Okay, just click this right there.
Right there, and I can copy and paste this, I can send them the link. So with the link, I can do the same thing. So I can hit copy public link. Where's Safari? Right there. All right, so I can take it right here, and then how do I hit paste?
Right.
Yeah, right. Control V.
Oh, is
Oh,
it
Command V.
connected to the internet?
Yeah.
Oh,
there
it
you
is.
go.
Okay. You know what? I have a question. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
All right, so any recipe. So I have people, I'll reference recipes during my show, but I don't send them every single recipe in a Word document attached to an email. I just put the link to my recipe box.
Is every one of your recipes separate note?
Yes, there's a few that are combined, like the rings. I have a note called Rings and Braids, and all the fillings are in there. And then I have e-cookbooks, like those of you who made the e-cookbooks for the brownie pan or the whatever. I kept that Word document, and I just made a note. Alright, if I sort by name, e-cookbook. So there is the e-cookbook with just the 3 Word documents. They're just attachments.
Do you have them all? Then did you pile them all up on top of one another? Is that how you
Like
get
a
them
stack?
all on the same note? Yeah.
Yes, so all the notes are in my recipe notebook. So we're in my recipe notebook, and then these are all pages. So it's like your file cards or your recipe cards.
Now, you were saying about you were saying about your link before. Couldn't you just put that on your business card to your recipe or on the bottom of your order form?
And if it's too long and obnoxious, because Evernote does assign a link that is less obnoxious to a notebook.
Okay.
All right, and then, but say you even want to shorten it even more, you could do that with Tiny CC. Okay. Yes, Marna.
Okay, so if you share your link to this notebook for recipes, your customers can't go in and look at other notebooks.
Right, they're only looking at this one public notebook.
All right, and then number 2, I think your question was what I was going to ask. I like people to get to my Facebook group, so I could, in a pinned link, I could pin the link to this.
Yes.
And number 3, my customers absolutely do not have to have great knowledge of Evernote.
Nope,
It's easy.
because it came up there, sign in, and I just click ignore, and it just takes me to the actual page.
And then when they get in there, will they actually see almost like a list
Yep.
of all of the recipes? and you have them in alphabetical order?
Yes, I think that's what defaults, whatever note defaults to, or whatever I've saved it
Is
as.
that what they see, what she's saying?
This is not quite the same thing. Okay, so back to my notebook that is all just, this is like,
Will it take them to all your recipes or just the one?
Just the note.
because I share the notebook, not just the note.
All of them.
So they're getting, okay, so here's my link to recipes.
You
It's
can
called
share just the note.
Evernote/pub, which means public. And then it automatically assigned it to, because my login is Tiffany and Foreman, and then the notebook is called recipe. It created that top link right there all by itself. But I wanted to shorten it, so I went to TinyCC and just made it Tiffany's recipes. Okay, so that's, so now if I was to copy this, like this is what you would necessarily, like send your code. Okay, how do I copy? Control C, all right, and then go to Command V. Oh. Oh, hold on, try that again. All right, so see, it just says, do you want to join? And you can say, no, I just want to view it. So when they view it, this is what they see. See all those recipes on the left? So right now, there's, because the last time I saved it, I had it sorted by date created. That's why it's sorted like that. And some of my younger ones, I'll say, does anybody use Evernote? That's also new. And they're like, oh yeah, I use it, or whatever. Yes, I do not have the pro or premium or whatever. No, you can do lots of notes.
All right, so somebody like me who just went save note, save note, save note, save note, it doesn't know what they were doing.
All right, so when you were saving all those
I
notes,
want to go back and organize.
you can organize, yes.
Okay, so can you change a note to a notebook?
You would create a notebook with a whatever title. Say you wanted to create one called recruiting. Then you'd slide all your notes over there.
Okay, so I'm not messed up, I just.
Right, like one time I accidentally set everything to save to Power Club, and I was like, why is it saving in Power Club notebook? And I just dragged it to the next one down.
You can drag.
Yeah. So another notebook,
You could rename.
so we need to make Sweet 16 public. Okay, so you either, like Sarah was trying to share a link with me earlier, and it was Stacy's link, and then right now it's private because of the way she had it set up. So
I changed it different though.
she changed it. So when you need to make a notebook public, like your recipe box, you'd want to be public so that they can see it without logging in and getting your permission and all that. I just went into, I think it was options. Hold on, let me make sure it's the right one.
I think it's the other
other icon.
the other box.
No, that's share. Hold on, I did this earlier.
I just wanted to make sure.
Hold on, I did this earlier.
Marie.
Okay, thanks. I did this earlier to make sure.
We have a shared notebook here.
All right, hold on a second
she's
while I think about
learning.
this. Can you play with it for a second? Let me just check my notes.
Right here. I just
Okay, so when I right clicked on it, it says publish notebook. Is that what I want? And I want to create it, I want to make it public. So when I make it public, it automatically assigned the link name based on my login and then the whatever I named the title. So I can now copy this or click on it. Yeah, you can change it anytime. All right, so now all you guys have to do is join the notebook and you have all the notes that I've taken today. I'm gonna share it on the Facebook page.
Just keep your pants on.
It's coming. Leanne. Oh yeah, I have a lot of notebooks. It's like my desktop.
whatever
you
you
tell
want.
about tabs.
About what?
About tabs.
Oh, that'll blow their mind.
Tags?
Forget it. Forget it.
Tags?
Tag. No, T-A-G.
TAG, tags. Okay, so, like, you know, who's familiar with hashtags? You know what a hashtag is? No. Okay. I've seen it. You see what you've seen? Ever seen a hashtag? Yeah. Okay, so the way a hashtag works, it's the same thing. We just call it tags in Evernote. So say in my recipe box, I tagged all my recipes with chicken in them. I added a tag that just said chicken. So if you go to my recipes,
Or
Go.
just do a search for
You gotta go
chicken.
back there.
Yes. So
Yes.
if you've tagged it chicken,
Do a search.
Dismiss.
yeah, dismiss, and then go to recipes.
Go to search.
Oh no, no, well, go. I just want to, because you can see them in the. Yeah, just double click on that one so it blows up. Okay, so see the tags.
Oh, search recipe.
Make that a lot bigger. You know how to drag that over. All right, so anything that I wanted to tag so I could find it later, you can tag things. You can use anything you want, and once you've typed it in once, then it's smart that if you start to type CHI, it's gonna come up chicken or whatever, you know, kind of like Google. If you start to type something on Google, it's smart.
Well,
So,
do a search for chicken. Let's see.
yeah, just type in chicken.
I just want to see what.
But I will tell you, they can even pick up. Evernote is so
Intuitive.
smart that you don't necessarily need the tag. Some people love the notebooks, but it'll pick up even in a JPEG, even in a picture.
Well, I think
if
that's
there's
the
a word.
difference between the basic and the
Oh, is it? 'Cause
pro,
I have
is
the
that
pro.
it searches attachments
Oh,
too.
okay. Then I have.
And that's what I was trying to decide if it was worth it to me.
Okay.
So the other thing that I had on here is public versus private, which we just discussed. Like the one notebook where I had all the links in there, that's my private notebook. I just call it Tiffany. So there's things that like I don't necessarily want my team to see. That's a private notebook. But I still go in there quite often. So
I love that.
in my team page, you know where you have files on your team page? Okay, in my team page, I have is it a note? I basically, if you create, without uploading a file, if you just create a file on your team page, I think it's called a note. I have a note that is all my links in there. So when they say, hey, what documents do you have about bridal showers? I'm like, here's the notebook, here's the link to all my notes from bridal showers. What do you have on fundraising? Here's all my documents that I use for fundraising. So that when they ask about things like that, let me pull that up.
It is amazing. The wealth.
All right, so here's like all my links. So when you guys started doing the tips from the top, I made a notebook called Tips from the Top, and then there's a page in the notebook for every one of y'all that speak. Same thing with Grace's Work at Wednesday. We do it. I have a note for everyone in there. And then like if Patty does a video and I've typed notes, I just take the YouTube link and put it in the top so that I have the link to the YouTube and my notes in the same place. Okay, and so like virtual parties, whenever y'all post the timelines, or no, is that what they call it? Outlines for the virtual parties, I just save them all in there and then I can go back and see them.
When you do, well, on the virtual party, are you able to save the pictures? My biggest problem is when you're doing the virtual party, you get the picture and
I
video,
don't,
bring it in
because a lot of times it's just the words, because I've, like the outline, I've Tiffany'd it, so that when some of the words just weren't me, so when I'm copying the words, I'm still uploading directly from my hard drive.
Okay, good.
Yes, Len? If I'm sharing it with my team, it's public. If I have no need to share it with anybody, it's private. It automatically defaults to private. So unless I have a need to share it, I don't go in and purposely change it to public. Okay, it's kind of like when you do a Facebook event, it automatically defaults to private unless you change it to public. So I do the same thing with my notes. Yeah.
Can they edit it and say you're
So then what you would do, like say I sent you a notebook, or you took a notebook, did we have one open? All right, so say you guys wanted, let me log out. Correct. So if I was to,
They cannot edit it until they save it to their own Evernote.
Right, and you know what? When you guys, if she makes a change to anything on any note,
Yep.
it updates. She
It
doesn't
updates.
need
So I don't have to
send you a new
resend you the
link.
Word document or whatever.
The link stays the same. The link stays the same. So every recipe, you keep adding recipes and you have the.
yeah, like if you just had one long note of all your recipes, and the customer hasn't been yours in 12 months, and they still go to that link, all your new stuff is there.
You have the link.
Whatever you add is there, as long as it's public and you hit save or whatever. But you don't even. There's actually when you're typing. Like today when I was typing, I went back in and inputted the video, the Do It Scared video. So I had already typed the notes that Kim had talked about, and then I went back later and I copied the link to the YouTube video, and then I went back in and just pasted it in there. There's not even a need to save. It just saves. So you don't even have to hit save before you exit it out. It just does it. So I was telling somebody that we go to the water park quite a bit in the summertime. I get more work done at the water park than I do sitting at home at my desk in the summertime because my kids leave me alone. And so as long as I have Evernote in my iPad, I can sit there and copy and paste or track, or I can make phone calls because I prefer to type at times than it is to write. So if I call Sarah, we're doing a coaching call, we'll pretend she's on my team, and I can type my notes right there while I'm talking to her with my headset in, and then they're just there. So then when I get home, they've like, there is a sync button that if I, like, a lot of times I'll switch from here to here real quick because, like, say I type something in my office and then I go to bring it up on the TV at home for the team meeting, I will hit the sync button to force it to sync real quick so that it is on all of my devices.
Right.
So,
Where's the sync button?
Right here. See the arrow moving on the screen?
the little circle thing.
Right there.
Tiffany, where's the email address for them to find their, Evernote email address?
It should be in your settings. It should be in settings.
I'm under account.
But you know what, if you go to email, if you go to your, like, Gmail and you want to send something to your Evernote, typically all I start doing is write Evernote and it automatically
It just, like,
knows.
pulls it.
It pulls it out and it automatically knows when it needs to be done.
But, like, you know, whoever was posting around the postcard, who did the postcard last night? The fundraising postcard or the outlet postcard? Okay, so as you pass it around, I took a picture of it, and because I had my notebook open, I was typing my notes, it came in front of me, I took a picture of it and embedded right into it. And then I kept typing it again and flipped it, took the back. Is that good?
Wait, I gotta say one more thing. There's an app on your phone. It's called Scannable. You can download an app. I don't know it. I know it is free, but you can take a picture of anything and it automatically uploads into Evernote.
What is that called?
Just say
Oh, Scannable is awesome.
Scannable.
Scannable, yeah. Scannable is awesome.
And that's what you paid for.